Hello, I'm back to play some more Demon Bluff. It's my new obsession. I can't get enough of this game. That being said, I don't know if I'm going to play any more than just this last episode because it is a demo. I have already found all of the cards, all of the villagers, all the outcasts, and then all of the evil characters. And because there's not enough like new mechanics to like create new scenarios or engage me more than what the game already has, I don't want to burn out on it and then play the game less when it actually comes out in full. However, when I was going through the compendium off screen a little bit, I was looking at some cards and there are some hints here. The hints will sometimes just like reiterate what's up here for like no reason, but there are also some pretty interesting things, like say the Oracle here, where you're learning one of two characters being like a specific evil role. If they're lying, both characters in their info are good. So if they're corrupted or evil, you can immediately discern that the two other characters that they're pointing at are corrupted or good at that point. Same thing goes for, where's the other card? The Druid up here. Oh no, not the Druid. It was the Bishop, I think. Where's the Bishop? Here. All characters in my info are villagers. That would be massive to know. That means that there's going to be no outcasts. That means that there's going to be no evils in them. Pretty crazy. I'm going to use some more of that information, maybe get further and endless this time around, or get more games finished before I reveal all the cards, because it feels really good to be able to work off of, like, I don't want to say incomplete information, because I need complete information to be able to solve the game, but incomplete in the sense that not all of the cards have been revealed yet. So let's head back into Endless, and hopefully not kill a Bombardier this time around. Right? Where are sources of corruption? We've got a drunk and we've got Puka. So three possible sources of corruption, and we should see two outcasts. We'll hope that the drunk isn't one of them and the doppelganger is. I guess we can't prove that the doppelganger is, and we can't prove that the drunk is either. Okay. Or if we see a bombardier, then we know that there's only either or of these. If we don't, then we'll know that both of these exist somewhere. I guess, okay, hold on. If the bombardier shows up, am I able to... Give me a second. There we go. If the bombardier shows up on board, am I able to understand that one of, or both of these guys? No, like a bombardier could be on board, being disguised like Puka or the minion disguising as the bombardier, and the doppelganger and the drunk can still exist somewhere on the board. So even if I see this card, I'm not able to say that there's one or the other of these guys. I just have to take that I don't get very much information on the outcasts currently. The architect, let me double check your hint. It doesn't do anything extra for me. I'll do that more often for this run in particular, just to make sure that I'm remembering all of the hints that gave me like more pertinent information. Right side is more evil. We'll not open up the right side then, because the only sources of corruption, apart from the drunk, are beside Puka. So I just want to assume that you're telling me the truth. We'll keep going from there. Bombardier. I am dizzy, so either corrupted or evil. I guess I shouldn't have opened this one because it might be Puka. Which, if this one is Puka, then I wouldn't want to open this card, so I'll open this guy instead. A Jester. Learn how many of them are evil. We can't point that at the Bombardier to, like, say that they're good. Again, it could be a disguise. Minion is 3 cards away from the closest evil. That could be the case. We've got a confessor up here that is dizzy. Okay, so that implicates at least one of the confessors, right? Because there's no way that we can have 2 of them being dizzy. I mean, we could have I disguise as a random not-in-play villager. We could have a drunk villager over here. Or sorry, No. If this was a drunk, there's a random not-in-play villager. This one would have to be a good one being corrupted by a Puka down here, say, or a Puka up here. And that doesn't work. So one of these two is evil. Can't tell which one yet. There's only one pair of evil. We're saying minion is 3 cards away. These guys implicate each other. So there's one of them is either corrupted or lying, but not both of them. I don't want to put down the tags on them yet then. I'm going to open up the last one for some more information. We've got 2 architects saying the right side is more evil. I'm inclined to believe that both of these guys are doppelgangers, honestly, and that the right side is more evil. That I would put down... Then I would put down you as being evil, you as being correct, and you as being evil. You're the bombardier, you're the doppelganger. There's our 2 outcasts on the board. One is evil of 7, 5, and 3. You are correct. How do you get dizzy then? We said that you're Puka to make you dizzy. What if we have this being Puka instead, and there is not a pair of evil, you're still evil. Or no, you're not evil. You would then be the other evil. Let's test the Jester on who I think is evil and who I think isn't. Let's pick the 2 architects and the bombardier. There are 0 evils. I mean, that checks out with the setup they have currently. What gives me the most information if I try killing somebody? There's no drunk on board, right? Just a doppelganger. Under this setup, I just have to kill one of the confessors. I'll kill this one. Corrupted. Okay, so then that means that one of these guys is Puka. And if you are corrupted, then you are a... this card can now no longer be corrupted over here because if the only source of corruption is Puka, or being a drunk. And drunk has to disguise as a random not in-play villager. This is an in-play villager, so I can kill you. There's a minion down. Now, one of these 2. There's 1 pair of evil. That is a lie, but I guess you're corrupted. I can't solve that. Minion is 3 cards away. Both of them lie. If I kept the Jester around, I'd be able to test which one of these is or isn't. I guess I have to break the 50-50 on my first village, really. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch it. Oh, that's lucky. Oh my god. I could have solved this one. It's not a 50-50. I was lucky, but I didn't need to get lucky. Because Puka corrupts the nearby characters, if this was Puka, it would have corrupted the Jester into saying that these 3 are evil, and that cannot be the case. The only way that Puka could be beside these characters and not corrupt one of them is if there's a doppelganger, because the doppelganger is an outcast, and Puka only corrupts villagers. So then this one is still allowed to be green if Puka is up here. Okay. Not feeling good about the endless run. It'd be a very short video. We've got a witch, minion, and ba, so witch means we can't open up the last card. We've got 1 outcast between these 3. I'm gonna hope it isn't a drunk. We cannot test for a doppelganger in any way. We cannot test for a drunk in any way. We could, like, we're going to see the wretch if it pops up, but we would need to open up all the cards to guarantee that that wretch is, like, safe. Let's start opening some cards. We've got a knight. I can't die. The only way that this knight here is corrupted is if it's a drunk, and I'm fine if I get that information right off the bat by killing the knight. Nope, so you're safe. We've got a fortune teller. Pick 2 characters, learn if any of them is evil. We need to find either the wretch on board or another good character to test the fortune teller. Between 2, 5, and 3, there is a minion, a villager, and an outcast. So you have to be your own villager in that sense. So you're saying you are the outcast of being a drunk or a minion, so you're lying or evil, and then the other character would be lying or evil. Let's open up 5, see what they are. Another bishop. So this could be a doppelganger. Between 8, 5, and 2, there's a minion, a villager, and an outcast. So you're saying that yourself is the outcast, that 8 is the villager, and 2 is the fortune teller, if I'm setting this up correctly. So I'll put you down as green, you down as orange, so that I understand you as villager, you as minion, you as outcast. We've got a outcast in this setup, an evil, this guy should be a villager. Evils are not adjacent to each other. So then I would have to put the evil here and then the evil in, I guess, any of the other 2 cards. They just can't both be here. So then I'll try opening up these cards. We've got a Slayer. I could. Okay, this is something I should check. If it lies, it cannot kill its target. So I tried before, like getting the Slayer to kill the Knight, and then if it tried to kill it, then I would know that it's evil. That's not the case. If it lies, it just doesn't kill anything. Not confident enough to use it yet. I'm gonna open up 6. We've got a Druid. Learn 1 random outcast. You could be the outcast as a doppelganger. Like, either of these guys, one of them could be the outcast, one of them could be regular, if I am to, like, believe them so far. Or wait. You've got 2, 5, and 3. 2, 5, and 3? Yeah. So it doesn't matter between these ones, which one is the doppelganger and which one isn't. But I can still pick the druid to check for, like, its doppelgangerness. I'll do the knight and the 2 bishops. There's a doppelganger. Okay, so that leads me to believe that I'm correct on all of this so far. I'm going to pick the knight and what is it? I don't want to pick itself. I'll pick the druid because I want to believe the druid to see if either of them are evil. Neither of them I think are evil, so you're lying. So I think you should be evil. That, like, continues to back up my claim. I could have used this to, like, get some more information about one of the hidden cards. Let me try killing you to see if all these assumptions... Yeah, these assumptions have been making sense so far. Okay, so now the evil could be here and here, if we're to say that this person is lying. Or it could be, what is it, here and here, or there. So now I could start a 50-50 by killing this guy early. Or I could just kill the knitter to, like, understand if they're telling me the full truth. But then that still leaves 3 cards at the end that some of them could be evil. Hold on. The Slayer, if I try getting it to kill the minion, should, like, expunge itself. Sorry, not expunge itself. Let me explain this after the fact. Okay, so if I pick it and it gives me the action back, that means that the Slayer attempted to kill the evil, but since it's already killed, it, what is it? It, like, refunds the action to me, and the Slayer doesn't say that he couldn't kill it, because that would be a lie. He did try to kill it, but it didn't work. So this Slayer is actually good, and I can pick one of the other cards for him to try to execute. I'm feeling bad about number 4. Nice, I got one of the other ones. Then the evils are not adjacent to each other. That has to be true. So then the only card that's left is number 9, and I can kill this one. Nice. Okay, that village is a lot better. We've got a drunk, we've got a doppelganger, we've got a counselor that could sit beside either of them. And we've got Lilith, who is going to kill some people. We have 1 outcast up here, so that means with a counselor, 2 outcasts total in the village. 4 is a real lover. Let's start doing some implications. 1 evil is adjacent to me. Don't want to open up either of these cards then, if we're to take these guys on their word, which I think it's like a nice assumption to, like, start by saying this card never lies. You know, I've got the only way that it lies is if it's a drunk. Let's open up a 6 instead. The left side is more evil. No pertinent information. Let's open up a 2. Between 4, 3, and 6, there is a villager, a outcast, and a minion. So the outcast, this could be a drunk lying. This could be a drunk lying. If I open up this one and I see, like, a true outcast, by that I mean, like, not a true one that isn't disguised, a wretch, then I could, like, start to corroborate this claim. I don't want to do that yet. It's such a low chance that this is a wretch that I don't think I'm getting pertinent information from the bishop yet. I've cured 2 corruptions. That's a lie. So you could be a drunk. Or you could be evil. Let's mark that down. Let's open up another card. We've got a wretch. So there should be 2 outcasts. There still could be a drunk down here. Or, hold on, no, okay, this could be an evil, and then yes, there could still be a drunk down here. Let's open up these cards. 1 is evil of 4, 7, or 3. which is this card here, or this card here. There are 3 evils left. How would I play them? So you're corrupted or lying. We could have no drunk on board, and there could just be a doppelganger that's hidden behind one of these cards here. So let's say that you are evil, and you are evil. Then that makes you true. That makes you the drunk, I guess, because you're also lying. Or not the drunk, but like 4, 3, and 6. I mean, you could be telling the truth if one of these is a drunk, but then there's not enough evils on board unless this is an evil. But I think it ticks up the counter if that happens. Shows how many evil monsters you've already killed. So maybe Lilith doesn't show this. I don't like the assumptions that I've made so far. I don't think I'm able to get any more information from anybody without killing something. Now, if I were to kill something, this is corrupted or evil, and I know that to like be true, so it's most likely going to give me some information. It's either going to say you're evil, and I have to worry about a possible drunk on board, or it is the drunk, I lose less HP than I should, which doesn't matter. I guess I'm at 8 HP. I'm just going to pull the trigger here. We got the counselor. Okay. That's 1 evil killed. It doesn't give me any more information about the rest of the map, though. Because, like, this, I can't say is true. 1 of 4, 7, or 3 is evil. And I can't say that this is any more true. Okay, let's assume that the left side is more evil on top of the assumption that we did with the medium over here. Okay. Actually, let me try assuming that you are lying and saying that 4 is not a real lover. You're corrupted and you're the drunk. We'll start with that line instead of saying that you're evil. Then you would be evil, and then there would be either 0 evils adjacent to you or 2, but there's not enough evils for that, so then there's no evils adjacent to you. So then you would have to be telling the truth. You would have to be telling the truth. Then between 4, 3, and 6, there is an evil. This could be a minion, and then 6 could be, well, it can't be another outcast, so then you would be the other liar. And then the left side is not more evil, so then you are another liar. That's too many evils on board. Let's assume that you are not the drunk at the beginning, and you're just an evil. So then you are not a real lover, so you have to be evil, not even a drunk. Let me double check that with the hint on the medium. My info includes disguised character. Yeah, so if it was disguised as a drunk, you would be telling me that it's, a drunk instead of a lover. It's not that there's like 3 options between it could be a drunk, it could be a lover, or it could be evil. It's just give me the outcast or the villager card at base, or tell me that you are an evil character. It's a binary option. So this has to be an evil character if we're assuming this to be an evil character. So then there's 0 evils adjacent to you or 2. If these are the 2 evil characters, everybody else has to be telling the truth except for the 1 drunk. Which means the left side is more evil. You would have to be the drunk. Then between 4, 3, and 6, that lines up. This is a possible board state. I'll send it. I guess I could open up the last card, right? Yeah, there's no point in not doing it. Okay, let's test all of these assumptions on the knight first with saying that I can't die, because then I'll only lose 4 HP otherwise. Okay, yeah, this board state continues to work. The lover is real, so then you are real, so then we have to make different assumptions about this. Between 4, 3, and 6, there's a minion, outcast, and villager, so you have to be lying because there are 2 villagers here that we've proven to be the case. Neither of them are outcasts either, unless one of them is a doppelganger, but hold on. Does a doppelganger also take on the ability of it? I disguise as a good villager currently in play. And the knight, does it say anything in particular? I can't die. This has a small likelihood of being a doppelganger instead, but I don't want to run off that assumption. Let me get rid of the other tags. Hold on. So you are correct in saying that you're a real lover. You are correct in saying there's one evil adjacent to you. So then this has to be an evil, which then means that for I can just hit it early, I guess, if we know that this is an evil. Yeah. Okay. So then you're lying about 4, 7, or 3 being evil, but if I look at your disguised card instead, all characters in your info are good. So 4 is good, 7 is good, and 3 is good. It doesn't give me any pertinent information. No new information. The left side is more evil. That has to be true at this point. We've got 2 over here. The last evil could be over here, and it still doesn't work. Between 4, 3, and 6, there's a minion, an outcast, and a villager. Well, I mean, this is the only card that I haven't killed yet, or the only card that I haven't marked down as green or red, or being the wretch. Okay. Let's say, for example, you're the drunk and you are an outcast. No, because this is saying that you have to be disguised. It's just saying that they're good, and outcasts can be good. So, like, a doppelganger could be hidden behind here, and then the wretch could still be... Yeah, this could be an outcast down here, the counselor is still sitting beside an outcast, and the wretch could be the wrong character. So let's see if we can catch the bishop in a lie. If we catch a bishop and a lie and they're the drunk, though, then that means that the outcast isn't here, and it is the evil, and the round should have ended early. I think I just have to fire it on the bishop and hope for the best. Let me reason a bit more. We've got 4, 3, and 6 being a minion, an outcast, and a villager. They're all just villagers instead. So all the characters in your info are villagers if you're lying. So you're either evil or you're the drunk. I want to say that you're the evil and just end this early, but let's assume that you're the drunk first and see if we can catch ourselves in a lie. So if you're the drunk, this counselor can be beside a second outcast in here, a doppelganger for one of these characters. And then that puts this wretch as being the fake one, you as being the drunk, and I would have to kill the wretch instead. That's like, that feels more convoluted than just killing the bishop. So it's like a 50-50, but I'm going to kill the bishop instead. Got lucky, okay. Next up, we've got a Plague Doctor as our source of corruption. Shaman. I do like that. I like having 2 characters that are the same on board. And Ba, which means that we might not even have a Plague Doctor. And it's nice that we don't have any hidden ones, so that if we see an outcast, we can't, like, immediately tell if it's, an outcast or not. Except for, there's a hint on the Plague Doctor, and I never thought about this. Because the only form of corruption in the game so far is for villagers, not for outcasts. You can hit the Plague Doctor with itself, and if it says that it's corrupted, then you know that it's evil, because it cannot be corrupted. Okay, 1 is evil of 5, 6, or 8. I'm not going to open up any of those cards. We've got a Slayer. We've got an Architect. The left side is more evil. 5, 6, or 8. We'll open up 4 and 7. We've got a Druid. We've got a Hunter. I think there's no hidden outcasts, right? Yeah, there's no hidden outcasts. So I can already get some information from the Druid by clicking U3. There's a Wretch. You are lying. They're lying or corrupted. Sorry, lying in general. You are corrupted or evil. You're 2 cards away from the closest evil. That could still be the case. I'm going to have to open up more cards. We've got a Knight. There's a possibility of you being corrupted, but I want to... If you are, it'll be nice to know where the corruption is, or that we have a Plague Doctor behind one of these cards. Okay, you're safe. The Slayer. There's a possibility that you're corrupted. I don't want to hit you yet. There's a second Slayer, so that's the hit for the Shaman. Which, okay, if this last card is not a duplicate of anything that I see on board, then that means that both of these Slayers are good. I don't want to make that assumption yet. I want to open the last card. I'm not getting as many... Oh, wait. Increases whenever you kill an evil. It doesn't increase when I kill them early. Maybe it does. That's how I got the extra 20 points, but it just doesn't say that in this mode. Okay, it's a Wretch. So we don't have to worry about corruption. So if you're corrupted, you're just evil instead, and I can kill you. And now, before anything, I can just start... what is it? Killing cards, you're also lying because there's a wretch up here. But what I wanted to do on this round is, because the shaman says there are 2 same villager roles in the current village, because the only villagers that are duplicated are the slayers, that means that this was a good villager and this, or both of them are villagers. They're not evil. I just have 2 slayers that I can point anywhere I want. Okay, we've got a Puka and a Doppelganger as like our out there cards. We've got like a source of corruption and then a duplicate. Right side is more evil. Can't really get much information from that. We haven't seen, or like, yeah, we haven't seen the chance of a Doppelganger yet, so I can't use the Druid. A Dreamer, we need an evil card for that one. 3 is good. We need an evil card to back up these 2. Got a knight. I'm fine to kill you early, and if you're corrupted, I lose less health, but I also know that Puka is near you. No, you're fine. Okay. Got an alchemist. I've cured 0 corruptions. That's still a possibility. Next. Got an empress. I'm gonna have to open up the last card, right? Right. An architect. Okay, so because we are guaranteed to have a doppelganger because there's no bombardier showing on board, then that means that you're disguising as a good villager. There's only 2 villagers in here, so same rules as like the shaman applied before. These both have to be good. One of them has to be corrupted though, because they're at odds with each other. So I'll put that down instead, but these characters I shouldn't kill. Actually, I'll put them down as green instead. So now that I know that all of these characters are good, and there isn't, well, okay, there's an outcast between these 2 architects. I can point the druid at everything else, see if they're lying. Why did it... What do you mean you killed evil at 2? Why? What? What? What do you mean? Okay, so what did you... Oh my god. Oh my god. That is so cool. Okay, so this alchemist said that he cured 2 corruptions. However, the only way he gets that done is if Puka's corrupting something, and I had I guess another source of corruption, right? Like he was saying that he corrupted 2 things. I cured 0 corruptions, never mind. What? Why did you kill the evil at 2? I was thinking that like the minion was gonna catch itself in a lie, and to like cover its tracks, it killed Puka real quick so that it can say that I killed the evil at 2. Like, oh look, I did something good for the community, but you can't see what it said prior. What? Okay, well let's see if the dreamer is good. Could be a minion. So you're incorrect. You're lying, but then that means, oh, you're corrupted, right? So you're always going to lie. I should have pointed at a different card then if I knew that you're, well, you're corrupted or evil, but if you're evil, then that implicates you, and that's too many evil people, so you have to be good, you have to be corrupted. You are corrupted, both sides are equally evil, one of these 2 is evil. Of 6, 4, and 1, one of them has to be evil. We've already proven everybody to be fine. Alchemist, what the fuck are you doing killing the evil for me, by the way? That's so weird. That is so weird. Is that... What? I'm just like, I've never seen a villager do that before. There's no text on here that's saying that it should do that. There's no text like in the game telling me that it should happen. Is it like a catch-up mechanic? Like I'm doing poorly and like it wants to make it a bit easier on me? Okay. We'll continue on. Sources of corruption, drunk and plague doctor, but we only have 1 outcast. If we see the wretch, no sources of corruption. We've also got Lilith, so we're on a bit of a timer. 1 source of corruption. If this is the drunk, it will execute a good character for me, so I can point this randomly, hope that it hits Lilith early. I got lucky on, I think it was 9 last time, so we'll do that again. Couldn't kill 9. That could be a truthful statement. We'll open up 9 and see if that's the case. You are the original baker. Yeah, you're fine. You're fine. But a wretch. Okay, so that means there's no corruption out there. Can I do anything with that information right now? No, I don't want to go swinging wildly looking for a Lilith, so we'll keep opening. You're true. You were a bard. That is true. Yeah, otherwise you would say you're the original baker if you're lying. Flies. I say that I was a random villager role. Oh, no, I can't. Oh. So this baker that I opened up maybe turned this baker from a, or sorry, maybe turned this bard into a baker. But if it's corrupted, it's just going to say that it was a bard. So the only way that I can get information is from the first baker lying. Or not corrupted. I shouldn't put down any corrupted takes. It's possibly lying, so it'd be evil. We've got a plague doctor. We've got a 50-50 between the wretch and the plague doctor. So to solve this, we can pick the plague doctor with itself. You're saying that you're not corrupted, so you can't be. That's a true statement. So the wretch is actually an evil, right? Unless we have a counselor. We do not have a counselor. Death. I always see myself as not corrupted. Oh, even if I am evil? So you can't point the plague doctor at itself? So then this is the evil, right? Please. Okay, it is. So the whole thing I said about the pointing the plague doctor at itself was a lie. Well, now that there's still no corruption around, which I guess is a good thing. The Lilith is going to kill another character if I open up another card, so I don't want to. Let me use the druid on characters that I know are not outcasts. There is a wretch. You are lying, and there's no corruption, so you have to be killed. Okay, that's Lilith down, so now I can open up these last two cards safely. I was an alchemist. You could also be lying, and that could be where the last two evils are. Oh, no. Oh, no. A scout. Lilith is one card away from the closest evil, so you're telling the truth? So now I think I have a true 50-50 between the baker up here being the evil or the baker over here being evil. You were an alchemist. Do we have an alchemist in the deck? We do. Do we have a bard in the deck? We do. If I knew what this card was, they could be saying like a random villager role, and then they could be saying, oh, I was a bard, when there's already a bard over here, and because we can't have duplicate bards, then they'd be lying. I'm going to kill the higher number card. Wait. Okay, hold on. Let me think about like the bakers a bit. If you're lying, you're saying that you are a random villager role. So like I couldn't trust either of these bakers afterwards, but then that seems to defeat the purpose of the baker of like turning the unrevealed good villager into like just somebody that you know is good. I think I'm gonna like not follow this hint and just assume that all of the bakers that say that they got changed after the first one are telling the truth. Like this one is telling the truth, this one is telling the truth. And if ever that catches me in like a contradiction or a lie, then I will like rethink how I play around bakers then. But I think it's like the villagers or the bakers don't do anything good. They're actually a hindrance if you pick them up early, because then you can never tell the ones in the future if they're lying or good. And that's like one of the worst states to be in, you know? And they just like propagate that through your entire village. That seems like it should be an outcast then, or even like an evil. Okay, well, that's the end of this run.